That includes an OT home loss against Memphis in 2021 that featured a 35-point duel between Steph Curry and Ja Morant. Three-time NBA champion Udonis Haslem joins us now to discuss Tuesday's play-in. And let's start with this Grizzlies-Warriors confrontation. As everyone knows, not only a lot of history between these two teams, but there's been a lot of change in recent months from both squads. What do you think the key will be for Tuesday's game?
Well, first of all, these two teams do not like each other. They've made it very, very clear. But the key to this is Steph and Curry. Obviously, they're 3-1 against Memphis this year, but the one game they did lose, Steph didn't make one field goal. Only had 2 points, and those 2 points were from the free throw line. Also, they didn't have playoff Jimmy Butler in the lineup then, so I think those are two keys. On the other end, Ja is going to have to be the Ja Morant from the 2022 playoffs, where he averaged 38 points. He's going to have to get in that paint. He's going to have to dominate that paint. He's going to need some help from Desmond Bane and Triple J over there, but if those guys can get it going, they'll have a chance, but I fully expect Golden State to get this done.
Okay, so you expect Golden State to get it done. Let's say they do. What about matching up with Houston?
Golden State is the one team that I would say if they can get past this one, they can match up well with Houston. I just think the championship pedigree, you have Steve Kerr, a great coach. You have Steph, who's been there before. You have Draymond back against the wall. You got playoff Jimmy. So I just think they have the pedigree. They have the experience that if they get against a young team like the Houston Rockets, they have a chance to pull it out. Experience
goes a long way, and we'll see what the Rockets do in the postseason, regular season. Everybody forgets how great you are in the regular season.
Well too.
Right?
No disrespect to Houston. I love what they're doing there.
Yeah, different game, though. Let's move over to that 7-8 game in the Eastern Conference. Hawks visiting Orlando. Both teams playing for a chance to face Boston, lucky them, in the first round. What's the biggest key in this matchup?
This is the perfect case of two teams with contrasting styles. The Magic, who is one of the top defensive teams in the league, and obviously Atlanta has Trae Young, who is the top assist guy in the league. But I think Magic, with their switchable matchups, they can switch all matchups. They can flatten you out offensively. I think if they can do that, they can keep the game close, make it a low-scoring game. I think they can grit it out, grind it out, and pull it out in the end.
Okay, why?
Keep it close. Just keep it close. I think they have switchable matchups. So 1 through 5, they can switch. They can switch everything. The NBA is 60 pick and rolls throughout the game. So if you can eliminate those pick and rolls with switching matchups, you flatten out offense and you make guys just take bad shots, put guys in positions that they're not usually in.
And then they face the Celtics.
Yeah, but you got one game at a time. One game at a time. Like I said, they have a great defensive team, so just play defense, hang their hat on that. And any team that plays defense, I believe, because I'm a defensive guy, you have a chance to beat anybody.
I knew there was a theory to it all.
I'm a defensive guy.
Okay, Udonis, thanks so much for your insight. We are psyched for the play-in games on Tuesday.
Pull up in a cab. Rudy Gobert is already messed up. Okay, I mean that's just how it is. That's how bad it is for Rudy Gobert when he sees Luka Doncic. Having said all of that, now Doncic's got LeBron James as a teammate. Austin Reeves has really elevated his level of play. JJ Redick, as far as I'm concerned, is a candidate for Coach of the Year. I think he's done an outstanding job along with his staff. I think Minnesota's lone shot to win this series is Anthony Edwards has to be the biggest star on the stage. And here's the thing. Even with Luka and LeBron, I think he's capable of doing it. I still don't think it'll be enough for them to win the series. I got the Lakers winning the series. But do I think that Anthony Edwards has it in him to potentially be the biggest star on the stage, even with LeBron and Luka? I think he could do it. What do you say to that?
I want to watch him try. So yeah, Luka torched the Wolves last year when he was on the Mavericks. I'm talking 33, 10, and 8 in that series, especially the games in Minnesota. He didn't care about being in Minnesota. He dropped a dagger on those fans repeatedly. The thing about this matchup that I think is interesting is we have seen LeBron can still be a dominating player, but we've also seen that he's got to kind of moderate his energy. The advantage that he's had since Luka has been back is that sometimes he's able to moderate his energy and then hit the gas in the fourth quarter. If the Wolves are going to play the way that they like to play, there is opportunities for LeBron to rest on defense. They'll put him on Rudy Gobert because he's not afraid to fight him in the post, and he doesn't have to run around on the perimeter. He'll have to be in some screen and roll action. They'll put him on Jaden McDaniels, who has moments where he hits shots, but like LeBron will be able to come off of him.
Well, don't put Jaden McDaniels on him. Don't put Jaden McDaniels on him. LeBron shoots 55% when guarded by Jaden McDaniels.
That's a great stat. I'm glad you just educated me on it. So I think this matchup is somewhat I don't think anybody feels great in the West, but I think this matchup is somewhat comfortable for the Lakers, at least in the way they can align. Now, the curveball is Ant, because that guy can come in to crypto and drop 50. I wouldn't doubt it for a second.
Yes, he can.
And so that's what I want to see. The Wolves are not as good defensively as they were a year ago, but they are better offensively. And you can trace that to Ant's being, and the guy, by the way, he had 7 threes on Sunday and became the season leader in most three-pointers made. The guy is a verified weapon from three-point range. This guy gets it going from outside. He can beat you with that as well.
Let me ask you this real quick, because I got to get ready to go. Knicks Pistons. I'm not high on my Knicks. I'm worried because they don't have the same grit that they've had in years past. That's problematic for me, Wendy. If they had Hartenstein, if they had Dante, if they had Julius, a healthy Julius, I think that team is NBA Insiders right here with yours truly right here on the Stephen A. Smith Show of the digital airwaves of YouTube and, of course, iHeartRadio. Let's get to the Western Conference playoffs. The Clippers and the Warriors season came down to a battle to stay out of the play-in, and the Warriors lost. What do you make of it, and what kind of position do you believe that puts the Warriors in terms of living up to Draymond Green's guarantee that the Golden State Warriors are going to win the NBA championship?
Well, in theory, they haven't really lost anything. They get a victory over Memphis, who frankly has not delivered many impressive victories in the second half of the season. That said, it's a one-off playoff game, and the Warriors have not done well in the play-in at all since the couple of times they've been in it. They still are in the playoffs. They get a team in Houston that will be a challenge, who beat them a couple of maybe the week and a half ago. But the difference between the number 2 seed and the number 7 seed in the West is negligible between those teams. What I would say is they lost 3 of the last 5 games coming in. Yeah. And at home. These were home games. And now they've got Steph with a thumb injury. They got Jimmy Butler with a thigh contusion, and he played 48 minutes. And you're already got an older team that's a smaller team. So you're asking them to play almost down the line with bigger guys, and you're now wearing on them a little bit. I'm not sure you gave yourself the best chance to succeed. I will say Jimmy Butler has routinely been amazing in single elimination situations. This is why they traded for him for this game. Even though he's banged up and he just played all those minutes, I'd expect him to be great on Tuesday night. My faith in the Warriors has been a little shaken with the way they finished, though. They went 19-2 during that stretch when Steph and Jimmy were in the lineup together. You and I talked about them a lot in there, and then after all that, they still didn't get what their goal was, which was to get a top 6 seed. Right. And the way they were outplayed on their home court in basically a vitally important game against the Clippers, it was worrisome. And so I take nothing off the table, but my confidence in them has definitely been shaken.
Let me ask you this question when he put you somewhat on the spot, my brother. If you're the Golden State Warriors, which should you have preferred? This play-in where you're going up against Memphis? Ultimately, if you beat them, you're the 7th seed and you get Houston in the first round? Or you win yesterday and you're the 6th seed and it's the Lakers you draw in the first round? Which one should the Warriors have preferred?
Well, if they beat the Grizzlies handily, or have an easy victory where nobody else gets hurt and they don't have to play 3 overtimes or something, you could look in the mirror and say it's not the worst situation, because you still get 5 days off, or at least 4 days off between now and the start of the playoffs. You can rest up, and you get a team that is impressive defensively but not experienced, and you would have an experience edge over them. And the one thing I would say about Golden State is I don't doubt that Jimmy Butler or Steph Curry or Draymond Green can go into a road arena and win. The Lakers had a lot of success against the Warriors this year. Now, the last time they played, the Warriors did get them. But the Lakers are an awesome home team. They've been an awesome home team throughout the year. The reason the Lakers are the 3 seed is because they were so good on their home court, specifically against the West teams. They just absolutely are a different team on their home court. And when you think about the challenge of dealing with Luka and everything that comes with him, and we've seen Luka be a difference-making player in playoff series. We know LeBron can still be. Yeah, Stephen A. I think if you're a Warrior, you're not devastated, but you got to handle your business on Tuesday. You've got to, because the last thing you want to do is have to play another game where you're facing elimination. Then you got a quick turnaround, and then you're looking at the Thunder, and so yeah, I get it, but I'm also a little bit cautious to make assumptions in this Western Conference.
Transitioning to the Los Angeles Clippers, they now face the Nuggets, who fired head coach Mike Malone just last week. I'm wondering what can we expect, but I got to tell you something. I watched the Clippers over the last 21 games. They're 18-3, and they've got the best offense in basketball. And in that span, that best offense has been led by Kawhi Leonard. We know what kind of year James Harden has had. We know that Norman Powell gives you a third option. I mean, when we talk about Austin Reeves in L.A. with LeBron and Doncic, look at what this brother Norman Powell has been with James Harden and Kawhi Leonard after